Hey everyone, I'm a big dude,
I was away from my mic, but I am also a big dude.
and together we are two big dudes. For all of our amazing listeners, not my wife because she doesn't listen to this show, might be listening tonight. Actually, I forced her to watch it. I handcuffed her to the couch, and
Nice.
I lit a fuse. So if she didn't listen to it, it blows up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I mean, she knows it's probably gonna be like posted. Like,
you know, she really annoyed me tonight because I'm on my way to your place to record, and I leave the driveway, and I'm driving around the neighborhood to go to your place, and then I get a call from her, and I'm thinking like, why is she calling me? I left 30 seconds ago, and she's like in tears over the phone because a frog came in the house. And I had to turn around
gosh.
and sweep the frog out. And like the whole time she's like freaking out and then thanks me like I'm her superhero. So
Wow.
I am a hero.
Not all of them wear capes, but apparently you do. You know what I just realized?
Hero.
I gotta get this facing you, man. It's
Oh
cool.
yeah, I kind of got to move
We're
towards
gonna
you
keep
too.
it running though. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you, man? Anything cool happened to you today?
Nothing really out of the ordinary. Just kind of work being what it is. And every time I get to this point in the week where it's Thursday, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm already burnt out.
It's not Thursday.
Tomorrow's going to be Thursday.
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
anticipating,
say.
yeah. I'm anticipating the feeling,
Oh
of
yeah.
just like not wanting to be at work. Because like I told you, but the commute is horrible. Waking
Shut your
up,
mouth. Shut your freaking mouth. I
rolling
hate
out of
you.
the side of my bed,
I
walking the
literally hate you.
20 steps from my bed to my home office.
Dude, that's why you're a big dude. That's why you're an overweight big dude.
A big dude and growing.
Yeah, no, today was super easy work day. Today, I just did 2 patios. I was painting, and then this is gonna be like the first Friday I have off, I think, in like 2 months. So I'm like super stoked to
Wow.
have that off again. Because I normally don't work Fridays. I normally just do Monday through Thursday, self-employed, and Friday's my off day. So
Nice.
yeah, it'll be the first time. Next week it's not gonna be like that, but
Dang.
This
Yeah, because I
week's-
thought you purposely left Fridays open.
I do. But work's just been like ever since that so-called hurricane in quotation marks that I'm making.
Oh, yeah.
Work was like dead for that moment, and then everything boomed up. So I've been like booked all the way up, I think, till mid-October. So
Dang.
I'm pretty set there.
Shoot, well,
But you know what?
that's pretty good.
You know what I love doing after work is watching TV. I
Oh, heck
love
yeah.
watching TV,
Yeah.
and like I just noticed that TV is no longer like TV shows. Like I mean, okay, I take that back. Like not TV shows, but like no more like flipping through the channels. Like my life of TV is Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll. And like that's about it.
Oh yeah, TV is about streaming services.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and I totally am with that crew that saw this coming from like the day.
What, the Redbox days?
No, not the Redbox days. Like when Netflix like really took off as a streaming service, and then like Hulu came along. I was saying to myself, this will replace TV, but I said this is going to happen where we're going to have too many streaming services. Because before you were set with a Netflix subscription, maybe a Hulu subscription too, and you were like, I'm good. I'm paying about maybe like upwards of $15 a month. For
I was gonna say
both.
it's not even that. Yeah, they were super cheap.
It was mad cheap back
Yeah.
then. Yeah, but then now it's like everyone's got a streaming service, dude. Even for like sports stuff,
I
like
know.
oh yeah, you can stream the football on NBC. It's like yeah, but you're only ever gonna get the NBC games. It's on a Sunday night. Like okay. Yeah, no, I definitely saw all of this coming. Like,
Yeah, I want them to have like a documentary about like the streaming days. Everyone's in like a Wally wheelchair, super fat, watching it, and it's like they're streaming, and then before streaming was like the original Netflix. Like, do you remember when Netflix came out?
I do.
They-
I remember its oldest UI.
And they had like the worst movies. They had like all B movies, no like major hits.
they had some real sketch movies there.
Yeah,
too.
they were
I was
super
like,
whack.
wow.
But then like before Netflix was Redbox. And then
I
before
do remember.
Redbox was Blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
And then before Blockbuster was like the dinosaurs.
I found my Blockbuster card. I have it somewhere.
Are you serious?
I still have it. Yeah.
That was my favorite place to go. I mean, like not counting like the mall or like a toy store, but every Wednesday we would get pizza. And then like while we're waiting for the pizza to be cooked, we went to the Blockbuster next door. And then like my sister and I would get to pick out a movie to watch that
Nice.
night. And it was awesome. Because you would be like, oh my God, X-Men 2 came out. And you're like looking on the big wall of new movies. But growing up poor, your mom was like, we can't afford a $3 rent movie. Go pick one of the dirty low ones. And I'd always revert to Road to El Dorado like every day, every
dude.
time.
It was
I think I've
great.
seen the movie 1,000 times.
It's such a good movie.
Ah, dude.
You know, it technically was a box office bomb.
When you mean bomb, like a bomb good way or bomb bad
no,
way?
like Treasure Planet bomb.
Why?
Like great movie that I don't know. I think it probably just came out on a year that another movie was just amazing. I don't know. It's mind blowing now
Yeah.
because it has such a cult following. But on top of that, when you see the quality of animation that went into it compared to what we have now, like all due respect to the CGI artists and how 3D is going now, but it's like it almost seems that because 2D animation is such a lost art, it feels like you can pack so much more heart
oh yeah.
in a 2D animation than more so than a 3D animation.
Yeah, and you got to focus on the word art because that is a lost art. Because 3D shows, like, some are good, and I get it. It saves money. Live better, Walmart. But it does not compare to a 2D animation.
No.
Nowhere near. And I mean, Road to El Dorado was so good.
It really was.
I mean, who was the as I hit the mic? Who was it? Something Kaw? Like, what was his name? Do you remember him?
Yeah, the villain. What is his
He had such a cool name, and I still love the scene where like his like subordinate was like mixing the thing, and he's like, oh, and he puts like the umbrella in there, and as he hands it to him, he just like, it kicks him in, and like breathes in the fumes.
No, he takes a sip. He's like, it's missing something. He pulls up the book. Yes.
As he like flips a book, I forgot. Yeah. So many good moments in that movie.
His name? Something. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. Like, we'll say at the end of the episode, like, now turning into two big cars, something like that. I can't remember what it is.
I'm gonna look it up just so that I can know.
While you're looking that up, I was doing some research before the podcast because I knew what we were going to talk about today. And you grew up different than I did.
I did.
Because while I'm going to Blockbuster trying to rent these Disney movies, you were watching them on your TV for free, in quotation marks, because you didn't pay for it. Your parents did.
Cable.
Yeah, how did, like... I think of it today, and I'm like, man, how did I miss out on all these amazing shows? And I'm saying this while I'm muting my phone because all of our friends are just
stop
talking
texting.
To us. We don't like you.
Shout out to our friends who are texting. You're the only one keeping us alive. Please don't unsubscribe.
But with my basic TV, as a kid I didn't think about it as much, but now I'm an adult. I probably watched the same 12 episode reruns of Arthur for like 10 years, and I didn't even notice it. Also, do you know how many episodes Arthur has?
It's been running for like 20 something years, hasn't it?
It has, but like when I went to elementary school to middle school, I saw the same 20 episodes. And like I was gonna like talk about in the podcast. I was like, oh my god, can you imagine Arthur, this cult following show only has 20 something episodes? And I looked up, it has over 250 episodes.
Yeah, dude. I think it just recently ended, like maybe a
It did. It ended in 2022.
2022. Wow, so just last year.
Yeah, and I'm blown away. Like, I have never seen probably 90% of these episodes, and I've been watching that show, but I watched it from age 10 to like 20.
It definitely changed. Over the years, you're going to have new writers come in and so on and so forth. They did actually, and the voices changed, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But they did have, like, on the final episode, like, everyone's grown up.
Watched
they
it?
got their career. I saw a clip of it.
Oh, okay.
And they actually brought back the OG Arthur voice actor to voice Arthur, who looks like a total punk. Like,
wait, what do you mean? Like they showed what he actually looks like on the TV show?
No, just grown up Arthur. You would think he grew up to be like an adult, the way they portrayed adults back when Arthur was like, when it was originally came out.
It's like a Toy Story 3 thing. Like you see Andy as an adult.
Yeah, no, but like they portray him growing up like a millennial does. Like he's got scruffy hair, like a hat backwards. I think he's got piercings too. Like Muffy, or one of them looks like a total
Muffy.
Again,
the rich snob.
That was Muffy, right?
I don't think
what
her
was
name
the
was
other
Muffy,
one with the
but
red
it's
shirt?
Girl,
yeah.
the bully girl kind of
She
thing.
wasn't a
Francine.
bully. Francine.
Yeah,
it was
I
Francine.
think she was a little bit of a bully.
She was just very headstrong. Headstrong for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah. No, Binky was the bully.
Oh yeah, but
he was like a bully and he wasn't.
I was gonna say he was like the soft bully.
He was the soft bully.
Yeah.
Like there's an episode. First of all, we're talking about Arthur. You remember that glorious episode? DW's been cruising for a bruising for a long time. She breaks his toy.
I hate DW.
And Arthur snaps and finally just starches his little sister. Just
Yeah,
one
I do remember
clean
that.
punch, 2 hits.
And it was like a lightning struck at that moment. Like,
yeah.
oh my gosh.
God was cheering Arthur on, you know? But, no, but like the other part of the episode, Binky is dared by his actual bully friends to like punch Arthur or to beat up Arthur.
I do remember that.
And he does. He gets him in the eye.
I remember that.
But the subtext of it was his parents basically gaslighting Arthur into believing you got what you deserve.
I do remember that.
It was the Joker thing. You get what, you know, I'm not going to finish that quote, but and it's just like, well, what about DW? That little punk kid busted his thing, like,
and like she broke his like because what she broke was this like model airplane he's been working on. He was painting it, and then DW was like, "I'm gonna throw this paper airplane in his room that he didn't tell me to," and then like knocks it out of the window.
Yeah.
Or no, she picks up the airplane, and Arthur was telling her like, "This isn't a toy; it's a model." And she's like, "Oh, how can you not play with this?" And she throws the plane out the window. Thinking, and then, like, I love when Arthur goes to pick it up. She's like, "Man, Arthur, that toy doesn't fly at all."
And then she starts, like, making fun of him for it. Like, you have bad taste in toys. Like, you didn't build it strong enough or whatever. Anyway, I got way off the track. But they portrayed adults the way millennials grew up.
Yeah.
And it just made me think, what a stark difference from the way I thought our generation would grow up. We'd be more like our parents.
No.
But everyone's got, like, I think Francine, they gave her, like, the buzzed hair on the sides. Like,
are you serious?
Half her hair was red, the other side was black, and she was like a business professional.
I need to like look this up.
Look it up, man. Yeah. But you asked me about how life with cable was.
Yeah. Answer that. Make me feel bad.
Well, I was about to say, the beauty of cable means you also get to enjoy PBS, like the poor kids do.
I'm like looking at this now, and this is like hideous to look at. Arthur with like a big thick head of hair and like you said, Francine with the bust sides.
It's weird, man. It's just so weird.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Okay, you were saying?
Dude, okay, growing up in the 90s with, with Cartoon Network, with Nickelodeon, especially Nickelodeon. I feel like Nickelodeon really stole it in the 90s. But and what I mean I mean like industry professionals and fans of animation in general, everyone ubiquitously agrees the 90s was like a second golden age of animation. They call it the golden age, but I think, maybe when it first came out, it definitely went. But it was a very good decade for animation.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot of good cartoons. Everything was, of course, back then, everything was done by hands, You had awesome cartoons, man. Batman the animated series.
So good.
Superman the animated series. Yep. Spider-Man had an animated series as well.
Oh, he had like 1,000.
X-Men,
I've seen every one. And I've seen X-Men. I love X-Men. OG X-Men is still so good.
Dude, it's you can't beat it, man. But like you had big networks like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. Dude, I remember Nickelodeon like in the early to mid 90s. And I was a kid, but I remember this stuff. Had some weird cartoons.
Oh my goodness.
Had some weird cartoons.
What is the meat one that you and our other dude, Mr. Meaty?
Oh yeah.
Now that is a weird show.
That is
super weird.
I think that was like 0405 or something like that.
I don't remember what the opening soundtrack was.
The opening soundtrack was all of God's creatures fresh off the grill. Something. Believe it or not, the Catholic Church actually went after them.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they did. They did. So they had to change it to like all the Earth's creatures. Thank you, Pope.
I'm rolling my eyes for all of you podcasters.
Okay. Sorry.
I will say that I was so jealous of all of you because all my friends had cable. All of them. You, like my wife at the time has now. All my cousins, everyone I ever knew had cable, but my parents didn't just want to pay for it. So I had basic antenna TV. And I know Rabbit ears. Yeah, before, all the time. If you had a bad signal if it was raining, no TV. And I remember when going to the hotel, I could care less about the theme parks. I could care less about like wherever we were going. The hotel had cable TV, and I wanted to watch Nickelodeon. I thought Nickelodeon was way better than Cartoon Network, and then as I grow up, I could tell that Cartoon Network is way better than Nickelodeon.
You know something? Looking back, the window of time that both of those networks were good, like at their peak, was relatively short. Like, okay, early 90s, you had cartoons. First of all, Ren and Stimpy, do you know that cartoon?
I know it, never seen it.
It's I can't even recommend it. It started off as a very avant-garde, very on the edge child's cartoon. And by the way, animators and cartoon studios got away with a lot
Are you
of
serious?
adult jokes.
Oh, is that the one that's like famously shows like the woman in the shower and the bubbles are covering her like her private areas? Is that the TV show?
It probably is. But Ren and Stimpy had like that quote unquote child's cartoon,
yeah.
phase, and then it fully transitioned to just, an adult cartoon.
Oh, okay. Then that's probably the other thing.
But it had other shows like that. It was like there was Rocko's Modern Life.
Never
of course,
heard of it.
you had you had Rugrats.
Oh yeah.
You had Rugrats and everything. There was this other cartoon made by the same studio called Monsters.
Never heard of it.
It's a cartoon, like one of them has like he's like a small little creature, but he's just like his body is mostly a mouth, legs, and he's holding up his eyeballs. Does that ring any bells?
Yes. Ridiculously so. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, now I know what you're talking about, but I still have never seen it.
Yeah, it was I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a really obscure cartoon, and I didn't watch too much of it. It didn't really catch me.
It looks super creepy.
It was, I think I might have been like 4 or 5 years old at the time it came out. Rocko's Modern Life was boring. Doug was on Nickelodeon.
Oh, I
back
love
then.
Doug. I remember watching that.
Yeah.
That came on basic cable, I think, like on the weekends. And Doug was
Really?
Doug was a show that like really hit the feelings at times.
Did it really?
I remember it talked about didn't it talk about depression and like loneliness
You're
for a couple
talking about
times?
Hey Arnold.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, Hey Arnold.
Football head, yeah.
Football head, dude.
Yeah.
Hey Arnold taught you about some real stuff, man. Like, and yeah, there was a lot of things that were sad about that show.
Yeah,
Like,
I do remember that.
I was just like, they're covering subjects that like, where's the talking sponge? Like, where's his dopey starfish friend? Which SpongeBob started in '99. I think '99 is when both Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network like got off on the good foot, and just like
There's
started
so
their
many.
next couple years. Because you had SpongeBob, you had Fairly Odd
I was gonna
Parents,
say.
Jimmy Neutron came out like I think 2001 or
Carl!
something. So what do you guys want to do today? Hang out with your mom. But Cartoon Network was my network.
They had so many good
Ed,
shows.
Ed and Eddie, Johnny Bravo, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cow and Chicken. That was another really obscure cartoon. Like, oh my gosh. I wasn't big on the Powerpuff Girls, but like it,
I mean, I can't say I was big either, but like, I mean, they were so popular I knew about them,
Oh, yeah.
even without having cable TV.
yeah, of course. It was, yeah, dude. They were just good shows, man. And when you had cable, like depending on where you were, each channel had a certain number. So like for all my life, basically like channel 21 was like the TV Guide channel. Channel
Oh, yeah.
24 was like weather, but like channel 29 for us was always Nickelodeon.
That's crazy. Mine was Fox.
Yours was Fox.
Yeah, 29 is Fox.
Well, I was about to ask what channel Cartoon Network was on, and then I remembered.
Screw you.
You blockbuster renting, garage
yeah.
sailing shopping.
You know what I do remember of Nickelodeon was getting my Game Boy and then buying the Nickelodeon episodes of Fairly Odd Parents. And the only game, so, as a kid, I'm thinking, I got Nickelodeon on my Game Boy. Like
Yeah.
all of Nickelodeon. Because I'm a kid. And then I put it on, I watched 2 episodes, and it's like, reinsert the cartridge. I'm like, wait, what? And I rewatched those episodes.
They must have. They
constantly.
probably looked like GIFs with sound.
I mean, probably. I mean, as a kid, it was, to me, it was
But
like
it was
8K.
portable TV.
Yeah.
It was portable TV. Yeah, the Game Boy player.
Do you remember that?
I do. I never had one, but I always knew that they existed. And I
Well, they
was-
weren't like a Game Boy Player. They made game cartridges,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
all they were gray. I remember that.
Oh, they were gray.
They should be gray, and then they
think
just
so,
had
yeah.
like. I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
guess
sure
it
was
wasn't
only
called the Game
Nickelodeon.
Boy Player. I got that confused, but I do remember. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like
the Game Boy Player is the kid who like had chicks on his arm, while playing the Game Boy.
I
Game
mean,
Boy
I
Player.
played a Game Boy apparently at a picnic.
You
and
did. That's how I
didn't-
met you.
I didn't have chicks,
my dude.
I had you on my arm. And look where it led us to.
I'm still going nuts about Doug. Doug is when they're like a little blue. And
no,
they're
his
like,
friend was blue. Yeah, Doug was like regular, like
Really?
pastel skin color. His friend, whose name was Skeeter. He was blue. Because his name was actually Mosquito. Look it up on Google.
I don't want to. I feel like if I type in Skeeter, we're gonna get something. Not one. Yeah. So next episode.
No, I saw a clip, and remember the bully Roger? He was green. You remember him?
No, I thought Doug was Hey Arnold. I only know Doug of like. I thought he was blue, but his nose is like really square, right?
His nose is big. Yeah.
That's all I know of Doug. That's it.
There was there's no chance he'll listen to this. A certain dude that we both know who cried at camping. We called him Doug because he had a long face and a, you know.
For all the listeners who all they heard was, he's talking about. Big nose.
Yes, yeah, I was talking about. Oh gosh, yes, the nose, that might go out in post.
Wait,
I'm joking.
Are we talking about the same dude?
I mean,
you said he cried at camping and he had a big nose?
You didn't think he didn't have a big nose? I mean, it wasn't big, but it was like sizable.
I mean, he was just crying so much. I was just looking at those tears.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like the tears almost dissipated by the time they finished rolling
that was
off
nuts,
his nose.
dude. Yeah, I mean, did you hear about the flooding over on the other side of the world? They say it's from his tears.
Dude, I believe that. The second trail of tears. Yeah.
As I hit the mic
You're good.
again.
It doesn't. Yeah, it didn't start raining.
Oh, sweet. All right, go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
Okay. Well, I was just about to say, like, man, like PBS.
Oh, I love PBS.
I did watch a good deal of PBS before I got into cable and Nickelodeon and stuff like that, and even a good amount afterwards because my mother ran a home daycare, so she put on a lot of like kids shows, and I was a kid at the time too. But dude, okay, so you remember Arthur on PBS, right? Do you remember the show Zoobamafu?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
It was Wait, what did you say?
Zoobamafu. It was called that.
No, I thought it was
the Krat Twins. But the Krat Twins
whoa, it's Zaboomafoo.
Zaboomafoo?
What did you say?
What did I say?
You said Zubamanafu
Did I say
or something?
Zubama? Like Zubama?
No, it's just Zaboomafoo. That's what I was like. Yeah, Zaboomafoo.
So, I'm going to defect to your judgment because you probably watched that a lot more than I did.
Oh, I remember watching. I love that show, and it was like the two. What are they called? The Kratz Twins.
Krat Twins.
Like yeah, because I got another show later on that I hated called like the Kratz Show or something like that. And it was the Craps.
I remember the lemur.
Oh, I loved him. He talked too,
he
right?
He did, right?
Yeah, he was like a real lemur, and then they would like instantly cut in oh no, he wasn't a real lemur. He was only a real lemur like at the end of the show.
But he was a puppet for the most part.
Yeah, he was a puppet. I'm pretty sure they showed the same clip of the same lemur just swinging, and that lemur died like episode 1.
Yeah, no, I bet. And wasn't there also a thing where like they would get some mail at the end and be like duck, and they both duck, but then it was like an owl flying in?
I think so.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, Blues can too, Kratz can too.
Steve comes in with an AK, just like, I told you to stop stealing my shit. And he's there with a machete.
Oh my god.
What other shows were there? Bear in the Big Blue House.
Cyber Chase? You ever seen Cyber Chase?
I do. I hated the art style though.
Are you serious?
So I didn't watch it.
Cyber Chase is probably... I mean, Arthur's my favorite just because of how nostalgic it is.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a show that if I were to return back time, knowing the insight I knew now, and I was like, I can only watch one show for the rest of my life on PBS, it'd be Cyber Chase. I love that show.
Wow.
And I was a nerd for math, and it was like, honestly...
because it was a math... Well, that's another reason I hated it.
Yeah, what I mean... Okay, first off, learning shows are...
Math, not even once.
Then you see Digit, if you know what the bird looks like, that's what he looks like.
Well, that's the... Yeah, that was, the animation... by Gilbert Gottfried, too, right?
Yes, it was by Gilbert Gottfried. Did you see... I mean, you remember how the motherboard looked? Super creepy 3D animation.
Who's the guy with the big chin and the mustache?
That was the hacker to you. Yeah, you ever seen him? Green, long chin.
Yeah. I remember.
And he had his like two minions that was like really. If I remember, they like really resembled like Dr. Eggman's henchmen kind of thing. They're like.
I actually don't remember his minions.
I think that's what they looked like. But no, Cyber Chase was so good. And then they had Magic School Bus. Remember that? That came like later.
Oh yeah.
That came later on to PBS. Because I remember my first few years of my remembrance of PBS.
Yeah.
Magic School Bus was not on there. And then when they added it, I was like freaking out because that show was awesome.
Yeah.
That show was awesome, dude.
Yeah. Remember that episode where Arnold died? He got his head frozen in space.
That's it, I'm done.
Yeah, I know. And it was like the first episode, right?
Yeah, I love that vine of the guy's like, yo, he's dead. I love like nobody freaked out too. They're like, "Oh, that's Arnold," or whatever his name was. Was it Arnold?
It was Arnold.
I was about to say Chucky for some reason.
Well, he had red hair. Chucky
All the
had
same
red
thing,
hair.
yeah.
You know,
I'm trying to remember other PBS shows.
student in the class is probably like, honestly, who's gonna miss him?
Even the lizard is like,
Oh
not me.
yeah,
There was the chameleon. That's what it
the
was.
chameleon. It's Frizzle.
Yeah, no, PBS was a big thing. And then I remember when antennas were like leaving that era and we were
Mhm.
getting the digital direct box. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't think you had to deal with that because you had cable. But there
I
was
think I
like
know what you're talking.
there was like
about.
a massive announcement. It's like antenna TVs are no longer like they're going extinct.
Right.
So if you want TV still, you have to get like the direct box, which was like $30.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was so stupid because like you plug your antenna into it and then you plug that into the TV. So it was like a middleman almost for it.
Oh.
But it gave me other shows and it gave me Cubo. You know what Cubo is?
You know, I know the channel, but I don't know much of it.
Cubo is like my Nickelodeon. It was I remember watching it and I was like, I've never heard of these TV shows, and they were awesome as a kid. There was Word World. I mean, for me, it was awesome. And Rupert. If anyone knows what that show is, like, please post it in the comments because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is one of the greatest animated shows. It is the most like they have the craziest episodes. Like they're bonkers. It's super high fantasy, not fantasy like everyone's casting magic spells. It's just like fantasy of the mind.
Right.
And it's another people or animals kind of like Arthur, but imagine Arthur super realistic. Yeah, anyone.
Rupert.
Yeah, it's called Rupert. I'm
Oh.
pretty sure it's called Rupert. I gotta look it up right now.
Yeah, go for it. Do that.
As they were getting super quiet.
Was the,
ASMR for the podcast? Rupert on Google says.
Well, while you're looking it up, man, PBS also had this show about lions that they were puppets. and I
Oh
think
my
they lived in a
gosh!
library.
There was the what is it called? The oh my gosh! I love that show.
I can never remember what it was called.
Oh,
I remember the dad's voice. The dad's lion's voice is still in my head. But
I mean, that show came out with like great little mini skits. It was because like it was all about these lions having a library, and then everyone's like, "What's this book about?" And it's always the same book, and then but it's a new adventure, like the guy hanging from the cliff. You ever remember that part?
Mm-mm.
I can't hang on much longer. You never seen that?
No,
Oh my goodness! It's called. I'm gonna have to find it in a minute.
my
but
God. So the whole thing is they tell stories about the books that they want to check out.
yeah, that's Rupert, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen that.
It's
I
so
would have
good.
looked at that and I would have been like, oh, Stuart Little has a cartoon.
If you, oh yeah, it does look.
Wait,
like
is that a
like
bear
Stuart
or a
Little.
mouse?
It's a bear. It's a.
Okay,
I'm pretty.
well,
I'm pretty
I'm
sure it's a
stupid.
bear. But yeah, going back to the lions thing. Oh my! I have to look it up right now.
Yeah, pull that up. Dude, could you imagine like an episode where it's like somebody comes up, hey, I've got the Necronomicon. Tell me a story. Or little German kids, oh yeah, I want to check out this book called Mein Kampf. Tell me about this book.
Stop. All right, Lions Library PBS show. It was called Between the Lions.
Between
Like
the
reading between the
lines.
lines.
Oh, okay.
At least I think that's what the play on words are.
I think so. Yeah. That sounds
Oh,
like
that
it.
show was awesome. They just had so many. Like it was a show. I mean,
Was
it
it
was
a
a puppet
skit show?
show. No, I mean, kind of. So you'd like watch over this family who owns a library, and the kids would always get into like some sort of trouble, and there'd be other side characters. But then they'd always open a book and like do a Blue's Clues, like jump in the book, have an adventure kind of thing.
Oh.
And
okay.
that's what the show was. Like the kid would be like, "Oh, like the sister stole something from the boy." And she's like, "That's not bad." And they open a book and it's like stealing's wrong, kids. And then like she goes back and she's like, "Here's your toy I stole," or something like that.
Oh, okay.
You know, Between the Lions was such a good show. I actually really like that one. And then you got Sesame Street,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
Basic
about to
Sesame
ask you
Street,
Sesame Street.
Barney. I remember liking Sesame Street, but I didn't like Barney. Barney sucked. Big time.
Yeah, it did. And I remember making fun of Barney all the time. And I think my mom one time told me, he's like, well, you know, those kids are making money. And I'm just like, one of them's got a hearing aid. And that was really mean. No, I know. I cared nothing for Barney, man. That was so...
No,
Ugh,
that and
the theme song is
Teletubbies.
Stuck in Teletubbies.
Do you remember Teletubbies?
Tinky Winky.
Dipsy.
Oh.
That's so good. I will give it. I don't remember what they called their food, like the
Tubby
pancake.
custard.
They looked so good.
Tubby toast and tubby custard.
That looked good.
It looked so good.
Yeah. Okay.
Bro, do you remember the vacuum?
Yeah. I hope that sounds as good on like, live as in the podcast.
I
That's so
hope so, too.
good. Like that. I want to transition a little bit because I had like notes I want to talk about.
Oh, go for it.
TV shows, specifically cartoon and Teletubbies, which is like the little like
It's like real
paradox
life. Yeah.
kind of thing. Food looks amazing on cartoon shows.
Oh yeah.
Almost always.
100%.
And it can be the crappiest food and it looks heavenly.
Yep.
Heavenly.
Did you ever watch the Aristocats?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that where he's like making like that like the milk that he's gonna like he's gonna
Yes.
poison them but like put them to sleep.
I
or
do
whatever.
remember that.
And that just looked so good.
Just always does.
And look at the little
Everybody
mouse,
wants
like,
to
walked
be
up
a cat. That's what we're talking about, right? Because
Yes.
a cat is a cat who knows where is that? Something like that.
Jasmine, man, I liked it. Yeah.
Oh, what was that
Everybody
really
Wants to Be a
fast
Cat.
jazzy song they played? That was a really good song. I
You
liked.
know, I actually don't remember it too
I
much.
know, we're gonna post it in the post credit or something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Something
that's
like that.
so old that we can't get sued, right?
We have like 10 viewers. If we get sued, we'll be famous.
Yeah. Two big dudes take on Disney. Two big dudes go bankrupt.
Two big dudes live the life of the rich for 1 hour. But now transitioning from cartoons, we can always come back to it.
Yeah, that's cool. man.
Late night shows, Mad TV was big for me.
I actually never watched Mad TV.
I can't believe you didn't watch Mad TV.
I knew it existed, but I never watched
and you know what's
it. Tell me
nuts?
about it.
For how man, I am so bad at vocabulary. For how strict my parents were, I can't believe they let us watch Mad TV.
What was like so bad about it?
I mean, they said a lot of raunchy things. Cursing was allowed. And growing up in my
Oh.
household, I was like, you stay away from that. I mean,
Right.
I was not allowed to watch Family Guy or Simpsons for a while. I had to like sneak to watch it. And then when I
Same.
turned a teenager, and they didn't care. But Mad TV, oh my goodness, Bobby Lee, if you're listening, pay the Patreon because we're better than you.
Sometimes I do.
Oh yeah, that's Bobby Lee.
What part of Hold On
Don't you understand? Dude, there were so many good skits. That's the same. Wait, was that Saturday Night Live or Mad TV where they did the Trump skit?
It was one of those two.
I think it might have been SNL, but
That sounds like an SNL.
I was not a fan of SNL. Mad TV, all the fans of Mad TV, way better than SNL. SNL was not that funny. I thought it was cringe.
I didn't really watch SNL.
You watch any late night shows?
No, man. I was all about cartoons.
Well, I didn't have cartoons at night. So I had to transition to like, it went from cartoons in the day.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, it was cartoons in the day. Then it went to Maury in the afternoon.
Maury,
You are not the father. Yeah, I want to talk about that in a minute. But Maury, according to Jim, Bernie Mac, Reba.
Bernie Mac.
What is the Kevin James show?
King of Queens.
King of Queens. And then it was like news for a while because that's what my parents watched when my dad got home. And then it was late night shows. No cartoons. Like the moment 1 o'clock hit, no cartoons.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It was lame.
I
Because then
bet.
PBS turned into like a, what was the big thing they played for like 10 hours long? It felt like, the thing where they're like, this is an old baseball card. It goes for $10 million.
Oh, Antique Roadshow.
There
or
you
something
go.
Like that.
Yeah, I can't remember words. I can't really know. So even late night, you watch cartoons? They had cartoons all night long?
Well, yeah, because that's how I got introduced to like Adult
Okay, I'm
Swim.
leaving.
Yeah. Oh, that's how I snuck my cartoons, man. Like, well, before that, the first cartoon or anime that I snuck was Dragon Ball Z. That was not allowed in my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah!
Dude, because
That, like,
everything was
blew
like
up
it was
everyone's
all
ears.
demonic, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
believed it for a while. It was like the names are demonic and this and that. I'm just like, but mom, one of their names is Piccolo. That is an instrument.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't know what a piccolo is.
Oh yeah. It's
I'm not a nerd.
Yo, shout out to my nerds. But yeah, dude, like no, when I would sneak into watching like, Adult Swim, especially when the TV got into my bedroom, I'm just like, I'm not turning off the channel, like changing the channel, because they always had this little bump that said like, all children out of the swimming pool, it is now Adult Swim, and they would legit.
That's actually
like,
so good. That's such a good
dude,
advertisement right there.
If you ever want to just kill some time, just look up old Adult Swim bumpers. It's just so minimalist, and it's just there's a very specific vibe to it. But they would actually give you the warning,
Yeah.
for kids, this and that, blah blah blah. And
He's the guy.
they
Bye,
had
have a
some-
wonderful time.
that was that
If
was
you know his name, what's wrong with you?
no. But it was at the end, of like My Name Is Earl.
It was always at the end of like every like afternoon TV show,
Oh, yeah?
like family show. It
Oh,
felt like
shoot, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, classic
back to Adult Swim. Sorry,
Family
I
Guy,
interrupted.
man. Like that was like the forbidden fruit, and back then,
So
back
good.
then it was funny. Family Guy hasn't been funny since 2007.
Agreed.
I'm putting it on record.
Yeah, I don't want to get too angry. That show stinks now.
Yeah, but it had some classic bits, man. Just oh my gosh.
Pukeathon will always be legendary.
Which one?
Pukeathon.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, that was too funny. It was like, wasn't they fighting for like the last piece of pie or something like that? And he's like, yeah, I just ran up a tab over at the pharmacy, you know. Mort put it on my tab, so we'll all drink this. I think it was
What was it? It was like
peroxide. The
No, it
stuff
started
in a
with
brown bottle.
it started with an E. I thought like Epicat or whatever it's called.
Epicac?
I don't remember.
Maybe
I just
it was
remember they
that.
sounded super weird when saying it.
Yeah, that was really funny, man. They all just
Such a good-
I don't know if you guys had any of that pie, but it was just wow, one down. I don't know who's doing with one down. Looks like I'll just
At the very
Chris
end.
like I don't feel so good. And Brian's like, well, I feel fine. I guess I'm gonna. Oh boy, I win.
Yeah. all these early 2090s kids knows what we're talking about. That
Oh,
episode
yeah.
was legendary.
Oh, it was. There was just a lot of it was, and the fact that it's gonna sound horrible. The fact that I had to sneak it made it all the funnier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Like my parents knew I was watching Family Guy down the road, and they were like, "You had to watch that earlier."
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just, dude. I feel like our parents knew the stuff that we got away with, and it just kind of tolerated.
They have their
certain
own
things.
life to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
The,
Futurama was also on Adult Swim.
I never got to watch Futurama until like way into my adult life.
Yeah. Futurama was nice. It was cool. I liked it.
I love
It's
Futurama.
funny.
Even
Very
like
funny.
watching it in a. I mean, I watched maybe 5 years ago. That's pretty recent in like a retrospect of my life.
Yeah.
That it was a good show.
It really
good
was.
show. Last season kind of fell off, but it
I
was still
agree.
really good. And they're making a new season. I wonder how that's gonna
Yeah.
be.
I have a big thing against remakes. Remakes, reboots. That is just this dude.
Just give it a
does not-
shot. Just
no.
give it a shot.
Well, I
Give it a
will tell you.
shot.
I will tell you. I am all of all of my dude friends and all my lady dude friends. They all know this dude does not like reboots or remakes. I've been sick of it for years.
I mean, that's why
But
Disney
they
stinks.
remade.
What?
They remade or they made an adaptation. I still call it a kind of a remake. One Piece on Netflix.
I haven't watched it yet.
I hate remakes. I liked the heck out of that.
Dude, it got a lot of good reviews.
Yeah,
A lot of
Like,
good reviews.
well deserved. I can't wait to enjoy it until they mess it up inevitably because it's Netflix, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll enjoy it.
So,
Brad.
since we're on this transition of anime, before I get to my Mari speech, because that
Oh,
show,
Oh,
I have so many memories of Mari, but anime was something I did not partake of until late in my life.
I remember.
You liked anime. My wife likes anime. A lot of the friends near us liked it. Like our other big nose friend loved anime,
Oh,
and all his
yeah,
friends.
yeah.
And I remember going to school, and there were some kids in my like college, like high school that I went to, like half
Mhm.
college. Forgot what they called it. Dual enrollment. So when I went to that college course, everyone is a computer nerd there, and all of them watched anime. And I remember I looked at them like, "You guys are losers. You guys are losers. Cut today. I am the biggest weeb you're ever do. Anime for life. I love anime, and I'm literally rewatching one right now. Gundam Iron Blood Orphans, hype anime. I just got a season 2.
Nice.
And you know what anime does that no TV show can do to me? Is the opening song literally gives me chills. Like, if
Nice.
you've seen this Gundam show, the season 2 first episode, the ending song, they play the new opening. And I watched that today. Like, I'm on my way to a job. It was really, had a lot of dew in the morning, so the patio was too wet to paint.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, I'll just watch an episode, wait it out real quick. I watched that first episode because that's the one I was on. And it starts playing that song. I'm in my car. And if you're watching me for distance, my trunk is shaking because I'm headbanging so hard to this song. And I'm literally just like in my car going, ah! Like the hype for this anime, dude. Anime's freaking awesome.
Wow, man. Yeah, it's funny because I don't remember. I actually remember I didn't want to bring up anime around you because I didn't because
I thought you were a loser if you watched anime. I thought you were total like you need to be bullied
the
and like
thing
taken
is,
out back.
you never said that, but I was always afraid to bring it up. So it's like you never needed to tell me that. Like, I think I did talk about One Piece a little when I was hanging out with you.
Yeah,
and the,
One Piece was on for kids though, so to me it wasn't like an anime.
Well, and that's the funny thing about it. It's an anime that looks the least, or looked especially back then, the least like an anime. Like
agreed.
compare it
Yeah,
to-
agreed.
And that's what I like. I liked so much about it. The art style was so different. And okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. For everyone that grew up like in the 90s, or I shouldn't say grew up in the 90s, born in the 90s, grew up in the 2000s when anime really started to like be a thing. This is what I truly think is the case. Okay, we all watched anime and cartoons, but we were afraid to admit it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like in middle school, I remember thinking like, why am I so different? I love to still watch cartoons, and all my classmates at school, they're watching MTV's like Pimp My Ride. They're watching like
Yes, I do
mature
remember
stuff,
that. No,
and I
love
still love
cartoons.
cartoons. Like
Same.
there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. And all these years later, I'm like, y'all were just as big as nerd as I was, man.
Yeah.
Because in high school, people became less afraid to admit that they watch. Because middle school was only 1 or 2 years ago for high schoolers, you know?
Yeah.
And especially now, it's like our generation was formed by cartoons and formed by anime. Millennials are full of 30-year-olds around that age,
I get
less
you.
and above. That part of our culture is quoting freaking SpongeBob. You know? Like, we grew up with this stuff. We like anime. We're 30 years old and a little older and still watching anime. Like, this is just our generation. And we all thought we were supposed to grow out of that at some point. But, like, no.
No, I think the anime that, because like I agree with you. Because I was definitely on the other side of the spectrum of, if you watch anime, you're a loser and you need to get bullied. But like I just didn't know what I was missing out on. Well,
Right.
let alone these people are a lot smarter than I am. But I think it was like, I think when Naruto came out, anime became cool. At least
I think
that's
so.
how I remember it. Because I remember I
Yeah.
would see like kids that I thought were cool have like the Naruto like headband.
Headbands, yeah.
Either they wouldn't wear it, but they'd have it on their backpack, or they'd have some like sticker of Naruto.
Yeah.
And I'm probably saying that wrong because I never seen Naruto. I'm not into that. I love anime, but I care less about Naruto.
I agree with you.
But
Never cared for
I
it.
remember there was like really cool kids in quotation marks that I'm saying right now, and then they would like put these Naruto stickers, and I'm like, okay, anime's cool, I guess. I still didn't think it was,
Yeah.
but I went to that dual enrollment. A friend says like, oh, if you want to watch anime, like you should watch this, and I was like, One Piece is anime. I'll watch One Piece. I tried it. I was enjoying it. I got like 100-something episodes in. I'm like, honestly, I can't do it. And then he told me you
The
should
fact that you lasted 100 episodes is
the first
impressive.
like 50
Yeah.
are really good, and then who's the crocodile arc.
That arc dragged on so much.
Yeah,
The
I think it
Alabasta
killed me.
arc.
Alabasta, yeah,
Yeah.
that killed me. But then my friends told me to watch Sword Art Online. Hype anime.
Yeah, it was like 2013, 2014 when it was
Yeah.
like super popular.
That
in the
I
friend
mean that anime. I personally don't think it tests. What is that? What's that saying? Test the time of time or something
didn't
like that.
pass the test of time.
Didn't pass test time. I don't think it didn't pass. I think it didn't pass the test of time. We rewatched it, my wife and I, and it just wasn't as good
Wasn't
as I
it?
remember. No,
Okay.
so many better anime.
I got you.
Hunter x Hunter. I know your spiel about it.
I won't even. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
enjoy
my-
it though.
yeah,
But
it's my
now,
favorite.
wasn't Hunter x Hunter?
It's a reboot.
It's a reboot.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you have Hunter x Hunter, and then you have like Hunter x Hunter 2011. And I've never seen the original Hunter x Hunter, but 2011 is so
Gotcha.
good,
Gotcha.
so good.
Okay, I got you.
Man, no, I love anime.
But you know the funny thing is like when the anime came to this country very slowly. Like you had animes in the 80s, like some that made it over here.
it was really just DBZ and One Piece.
No,
a while.
It was like in the late 90s we got Pokemon. We
Oh, I
got
guess that is an
Sailor
anime.
Moon.
Yeah, yeah.
We got did I already say DBZ? Well, we
I
got
said
Dragon
DBZ.
Ball and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
Dragon
yeah,
Ball
yeah.
Z.
Mhm.
You know, so it's like anime was a big part of our cartoons. We didn't know it was called anime until much later, I feel like. Because
I-
to me it was a cartoon. Like
I felt like I knew it was anime because anime is like way different than a cartoon.
well, yeah, no,
way
of course,
different. Like if you put,
stylistically,
even if you put like a realistic cartoon, I'm thinking of one.
Well, dude, Batman the Animated Series. That's a cartoon. And it's not
but
like
it does,
cartoony.
yeah, but it
you know?
does not look like an anime.
No, God,
Yeah,
of course
yeah,
not.
exactly.
No. Not at all. But yeah, and I remember when people would say, oh, it's a cartoony drawing. It's like, I know what you mean, but like, anime is a Japanese cartoon. Like, a
Yeah.
cartoon is an animation. That's what it's short for,
No,
animation.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny how it did be a huge part of our lives, and we
Yeah.
didn't really know. And it's funny that I was embarrassed to admit it, and everyone was
Oh, agreed.
until it was no
Agreed.
longer. Definitely when Naruto came to the States, that pushed a lot of the weebs like out into the open.
Dude,
You know?
everyone.
It was really like I actually watched Naruto before I started watching One Piece.
I just remember everyone
I got
was watching it.
bored of Naruto though. And then One
tried.
Piece,
Not good.
this crappy 4 kids version of it. But like I remember, because all I remember was like this show would come on. This main character looks so stupid and weird.
But that
and then
song
there's that
was so
stupid
good.
rap. No, I hated the rap.
What?
Whenever it came
It's made
on,
of rubber.
dude, it was just. And then one day I sat down and I was just like, I will watch it. And when I watched it, I'm like, I like this. And I kept it a secret. I watched maybe 3 episodes in, and my sister walked in on me watching it. And I look behind, I'm just like, I'm all embarrassed, thinking she's about to make fun of me. And she sits down like, let's watch this. And then after the end of it, we're just like, go,
Yeah, dude. One Piece. Don't give it up, Luke.
Oh,
They're
God,
so
to this day.
good. I can't
No,
believe they
it
like
was
that
horrible.
rap.
No, dude, did you know? 4 Kids actually came up with an English version of We Are. The very first opening. The iconic theme song
I
for
gotta
One
check it out.
Piece. They came up with an English version for it, but scrapped it because it wasn't urban enough. I lost it. When I found that out, I was just like,
Yo,
God,
we took a
4
bite
Kids
of gum.
sucks.
So good.
You know, it was that bad.
I love that rap.
You've been thinking about Maury. I need to hear these stories.
Oh my gosh.
All
Wait,
I
did
need
you
to
ever
do-
watch Maury?
I knew Maury existed, and to me, it was just like some Howard Stern trash TV crap. But
Okay, first off, what are you saying? Maury or Maury?
is it not Maury?
I'm pretty sure it's Maury.
It's probably Maury. You watched it. You tell
I
me.
mean, I could be wrong, but
No,
I'm pretty
no,
sure it's
just-
Maury.
I never watched it. If
Oh
they
my
said,
goodness.
You are now watching Maury.
So,
that's Maury.
first
No.
off, conspiracy theory, all of it scripted. There is no
1000%.
There is
Yeah.
no way there are like the bums of the street who like you're seeing their family household and they're literally living in like cardboard boxes. First off, how did you even like contact Maury? You didn't even own a phone. And then secondly, who in their right mind wants to be like, oh yeah, like for instance, like a woman, okay? A woman goes on there, she knows whose kid it is. Like it's like if she doesn't know, she knows that like, oh, I'm only on the show because I slept with another man other than, my husband or something like that.
That was really the.
I mean, most of the time it was always a husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, and they'd have a kid, and either the husband would be like, or the guy would just be like, that's not my son or daughter, and the wife would be like, oh, that is. And then Mario would be like, you are or you are not the father after the DNA test. But Mario would like give her a chance or give him a chance to say like, okay, yeah, that's my kid. I just didn't want to pay for it. Or the wife would be like, okay, it's not your kid. I actually slept with your brother, something like that.
Right.
But
And
like
the crowd, ooh.
Yeah. But like who in their right mind goes on TV and like they know in their head because they've lived it, they know they've cheated on their spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, and they're gonna think like they can fool the TV, like they're doing a
Yeah.
DNA test.
Yeah.
It had to be scripted.
No,
Had to
dude.
be.
Yeah, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. It's just like that's a fact.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I mean, and the shows were hilarious. There were so many moments of like there'd be a guy and his wife, and they'd show a picture of the baby, and the guy'd be like, that does not look like me, man. That don't look like me at all. And they have them face to face, like next to each other, and it's a spitting image. Like a spitting image. Like I think there was one where like there was a birthmark over the eyebrow, and he's like, man, that's not me at all. And then the guy has a birthmark over his eyebrow, and his kid has one. It's
Oh
like,
my
come on.
gosh. Do you think they in the green room they just like, yeah, hang on a second, we just gotta just
Dude,
a
nothing
little
conspiracy.
birthmark. Another conspiracy,
Dude.
bro.
Yeah, that was it. And then there was a lot of spin-offs of Mari that I hated. What was the one that they fought each other? They would let like a guy fight like the guy his girlfriend cheated on or something like that. Springer, I think it was called Springer or something like
Wait. So Maury, I'm just gonna keep saying Maury. It's just been in my head.
Whatever.
Like for years. Maury spun off Jerry
that.
Springer.
No. I mean, for me, Mari's the original. I could be wrong.
Really?
But to me,
I always remember Jerry Springer.
I hated that show.
Jerry. I never watched it. Wasn't allowed to. It was just.
I hated that show.
Yeah. It's not like I would want to watch. It was dysfunctional stuff anyway. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, watching this just made you depressed because you're like, how can you live like
It's
this?
trash TV, man. It's
Oh,
like,
it is trash TV. And
Yeah.
the worst, like, I feel really bad for these women, but I mean, like, it sucks to be you. You're the one who cheated, so, and you went on the show, so whatever. But it would be awful when there'd be like 4 kids, and the husband is like dying to be a father to these kids because he's like, these have to be my kids, but he has to make sure. And he'd be like, okay, son number 1, you are not the father. And then like there'd be like 3 guys up there, and he'd be like, you are not the father, you're not the father, but you are the father. And then like son number 2, you are the father, but you are not the father, you're not the father. Like this woman's sleeping like with 1,000 guys, like having kids on, and it was just so awful.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
Do you we mentioned Family Guy. Do you remember the little spin-off skit they had of like Maury? But it was like Diane.
Don't remember it.
Diane was the newscaster.
Tell me.
Where she was like there's like a fat guy and a really fat lady. They're like both just like really like
Yeah, I get you. Overweight.
overweight and
They're big
everything.
dudes.
Just like yeah, like so there's this whole thing. It's like the guy is telling the wife, he's like, actually I have been holding a secret from you. I'm not a man, I'm a woman. And he unzips,
I do
and it's a
remember
woman, and
this.
she's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Actually, I'm not a woman. I'm a horse." Zip. Oh my god! Actually, I'm not a horse. I'm a broom.
I'm a
Zip, and the
broom.
broom just. And then she asks, like, "What do you think about all this?" And he goes, "To be honest, Diane, I'm surprised." I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that. That was hilarious.
So stupid.
Another stupid thing of Mari would be like, it's always like the dude who's going, I mean, there was women who like would go on these rants, but it's always a dude like, man, that ain't my kid. I don't love that kid. I'll never take care of that kid. Man, that kid's dead to me. And then to be like, Mari's like, you are the father. Literally have a second other. I'm going to love that kid with my whole life. I'm going to take care of him with all of my pay stubs. Like, it was so stupid. It had to be the biggest.
Phony,
fake.
dude.
Yeah, it's a phony. A great big phony. He's a phony. Another Family Guy reference.
There's a lot of those, man.
Oh, you and I lived. Another like TV show, I'm putting quotation marks, is YouTube.
Oh yeah.
You and I watched
dude.
so many YouTube clips.
So many YouTube. You remember like when you looked up Family Guy clips, they were uploaded by Hulu.
Oh yeah, I
And it
remember the
had,
little
like,
ring. Yeah. Yes.
Oh man. Oh dude.
I will say my greatest memories of cartoon shows / TV is Saturday morning cartoons. I feel like all you cable privileged snobbed kids did not understand. And for shout outs to all my basic cable Saturday night or Saturday morning TV show watchers. I mean, you never wanted to wake up early because weekend's a weekend.
Yeah.
But I remember waking up at 6:30 because I wanted to watch Pokemon in the morning next to TMNT, next to Chaotic, and then like I would skip Yu-Gi-Oh and all that stuff. But that was like the morning.
Are you talking about like Kids WB was like on ABC?
Well, for me, Kids WB was a Saturday morning only, and that's when like you got Sonic X, you had.
Yeah, I remember that. That's how I would watch Pokemon.
It only came on Saturdays for you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking cable TV had like everything.
Well,
Like, at all
yeah,
times.
it does, including the poor people channels.
Dude, I hate you. But no, Saturday morning was so good. I think that's the
Yeah.
reason I'm such a TMNT fan. Like that has to be one of my favorite cartoon shows ever made.
Nice. The
So
2003
good.
version.
2003,
right?
yeah. So good, dude.
Nice.
And
Dude.
Sonic X, one of the best opening songs ever.
Well, you want to talk about opening songs, huh? I don't remember. Well, I didn't watch Sonic.
Gotta go fast. Sonic, gotta go fast. You ever see that?
No, that's literally a part of it.
It's saying like gotta go fast, Sonic, gotta go fast.
Oh
Sonic.
shoot! I
Gotta
didn't
go
know
faster, faster, fast. Oh, so good.
That. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. You want to talk about intros to shows and cartoons? Like, to me, nothing tops the opening to the Batman the Animated Series. It set the tone immediately.
I feel like I just recently watched the show and I don't remember the opening.
You'll have to just look it up. Yeah, and then fight. I will tooth and nail. Justice League had the best opening theme song ever.
Opening theme song. I just remember the animation was
Bum,
awful. No, I
bum.
totally disagree with you.
No,
I think it's terrible. Even the animation,
swells.
it literally
swells.
No.
I got goosebumps every single time.
You're telling me you went from watching this amazing animated show and then they throw on this awful 3D images of the characters flying through the sky,
Oh, you're talking
Batman
about
running
that.
like he's broken.
Yeah. No, yeah, okay. I'm talking about the music though. Yeah, the design
I want
choice.
to debate in the comics if you truly think like Justice League actually had a good opening song.
Oh God, it was hype.
I'll
Yeah.
give that. Rate it out of 10. I give it 4 out of 10. I think it's trash.
Straight 10.
No, straight 10 is like
Straight 10.
no. Straight 10 is Pokemon. That's a straight 10 opening.
That's also a straight 10.
You're telling me that's on equal terms with Pokemon?
Yes.
You're a joke.
Yes.
No way,
Dude, come on. Part of the theme song is it's supposed to get you ready for the show, and it's the most heroic. It is
It's like Batman's like skating like the new Flash movie.
No. Oh, they should have taken lessons. They should have taken lessons from how they used to
Hated
do
that
it.
movie.
No, dude, it set the tone. It was heroic. It was deep. It was emotional. I liked it. It got you excited to be like, so freaking ready. It got me ready,
Not me, dude.
even as an
It
adult.
got me ready to turn the TV off. And then I was
my
like, wait, the show's actually really good. And then
Yeah,
turned
it
on.
is. It's freaking amazing. It's very
No, well,
good.
Justice League Unlimited trumps Justice League, in my opinion.
You know, the thing is, I can't disagree with you. But
It
the
got so much
only thing
better.
that I'm really going to say is Justice League Unlimited is just, it's Justice League continuation. It's Justice League 3, 4, 5, it's just,
It just doesn't have
It
that.
continues.
It doesn't have that crappy first half season. Because I'm telling you, Justice League
the
season one,
first season was
dude,
kind of lame.
the first like
Yeah.
10 episodes are just it's a grog to get through. There's
It
no
is.
real story.
And
I
there's
understand.
no real character development. It's very stoic. Wonder Woman, great, Hera, help us. You know, like...
Sweet.
I will say this: I did like the concluding the 3-part episode of when they go back in time.
I mean, you just rewatched it.
I have rewatched it many times.
Yeah.
And something else I actually want to touch on, you know, or we'll talk about it later. I am not the only one. I don't know if you did,
What?
but cartoon crushes. Did we have cartoon crushes growing up?
I did, and I married mine. Violet from The Incredibles.
Okay, I'm actually really glad to hear you say that because I also had Violet as my cartoon crush.
Oh yeah.
Wonder Woman, though, she was my first cartoon.
Are you
crush.
serious?
Come on, dude. Come on.
I mean, I'm not like against you, but I'm not with you. No, mine was
Yeah.
just Violet from The Incredibles, and my wife looks just like Violet from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
She
Shy,
does.
very much so.
Black hair.
I
covering
also
the
had a
eyes.
cartoon crush on Raven from Teen Titans.
I'm pretty sure my wife was like nuts for Raven.
I think so. Well,
I mean, Raven's super cool.
yeah, she's a cool character. Yeah.
I just rewatched Teen Titans, and
You know what's on Amazon Prime?
yeah, I watched it.
Yeah,
For
I just found out
I
today.
literally watched Teen Titans for the very first time. Like when I say first time, like all the way through. I remember seeing maybe an episode here
yeah.
and there. No, first time I seen Teen Titans all the way through.
What did you think?
Incredible, terrible ending. Worst ending in my life.
It ends with the movie. They go to Tokyo.
I didn't watch the movie. It just ends with like a big cliffhanger, and it was like it ends with who's the rock girl? Tara, and it's like Beast Boy sees Tara, and she does not remember him, but at the same time you're like, does she remember him? Because he's like, Tara, you don't remember? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, because Tara supposedly died in like
Yeah.
the cave, and then at the end of the show, it like leaves off in a cliffhanger of like the Teen Titans of the world, and then the show ends.
Yeah, because they ended it with like a TV movie. Teen Titans
Oh,
Go
yeah.
to Tokyo.
I mean, I
or-
did I did a ton of research on it, and it was because I don't remember how many seasons there are, but the second to last season was a big flop. Huge
Really?
flop. Yeah, because the show was a banger. And then it got like really weird in regards to it wasn't about the Teen Titans. It was about like almost like a Justice League thing of like the Teen Titans of like the world. And it did not.
I legit don't remember that.
It probably because you didn't like it. It just
Yeah,
did
could be.
not do well. I think they went from it. The show was dying off, as good TV shows just end up doing.
Yeah.
But that one just really fell off, and so they made the last season, and the last season was kind of like doing this little comeback of like, oh, it's getting back to its good ways, and then it just ends.
Hmm.
And it was trash.
yeah.
But a great show. But
No, for sure. Yeah. I remember. like-
booyah! I gotta say that.
Dude, I love Cyborg.
Who didn't?
Like Cyborg and Beast Boy had such a great dynamic. Like Robin played the Batman character. He
I
was kind of
loved
like
Robin
moody and everything.
so much.
Yeah, and Starfire was
Love
like a really
Starfire.
sweet character. I'm missing someone. Raven was just Raven.
it was just so fun.
You know.
They're like Tara and Slade, great villain.
Oh my god.
great
Slade.
villain.
Oh my gosh. That was so great. Yeah, that was a good show. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. I remember I was kind of like leery of the whole like how they were trying to like do these anime tropes that I wasn't a huge fan of. But you know,
Dude.
it's like a good cartoon's a good cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, Teen Titans is the closest anime / cartoon like American cartoon. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
American. It's cartoon, but with the anime. It's like I
Yeah.
think Avatar also tried
Oh,
to
yeah, Last
accomplish
Airbender?
that with their.
Another great show.
Yeah, that was another really
Korra
good
sucked.
one. Yeah,
hate
well,
Korra.
yeah.
But with the Teen Titans, so watching it, the opening is that passes the test of time. That opening is hype.
It's hype, but it's
opening.
annoying.
No, I don't. I disagree with you. I
It's
think
hype, but it's annoying.
I think the Japanese rendition is annoying. It's the same singers, but they do it in Japanese, and it still rhymes, but just doesn't hit you like the American version does.
Yeah.
I think that's.
It was always kind of
great.
cool when you heard it. I was like, oh, it's a Japanese one this time. Real quick, in the comments, guys, put your cartoon crushes. You got to do it. I think
Yeah.
one of our friends, one of our dudes, I won't mention him by name, but I think we know his from a certain Nintendo related movie.
I was wondering.
Peaches.
That's a good recent movie.
It is. I gotta rewatch it.
It's a good recent movie.
It is.
There's been a few good recent movies. I'm really looking forward to New Hunger Games and Dune 2. Oh my gosh, Dune 1 is so good. I'm excited for Dune 2.
Gotta finish watching Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any last TV shows I wanted to say before we sign off. There's a couple more I gotta go on a rant for about.
Go for it.
Adventure Time is probably, I mean, I'm saying this in retrospect, it's probably the greatest cartoon ever created. It just doesn't hit like a lot of nostalgia for a lot of people, but it is one of the greatest cartoons ever
Well,
created.
it's gonna hit nostalgia for a lot of like people that are dudes that are much younger.
I mean,
than we are.
I think they came out with a new
Grew up
season of
with
it, but they got really woke, and I can care less about it now. But I mean, just in general, first off, Adventure Time World, 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Story, 10 out of 10. Villains, 10 out of 10. Side characters, 20 out of 10. Main characters, 1,000 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
They-
So many, and good songs, good artwork, good jokes. So much good things in that show.
It was really good, dude. It just again the world building masterclass.
Oh my! I love the whole nuclear bomb thing. First time that Finn goes into space and you see like the
that?
chunk out of the earth.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm like, this is a cartoon show that I'm like, oh yeah, it has some like funny japes and jokes. And you see that scene, you're like, whoa.
It was
What
because
did I
like the
enter?
first season was again very just like
It's like every kid show.
it's, you
Yeah.
know, it's just whatever. But then it's like season 2 comes and it's like, okay, we got character building. We have side arcs. We're gonna start uncovering some things. The same way that I discovered One Piece was the same way I discovered Adventure Time.
Really?
It came on TV, and I remember thinking, this is the stupidest thing. This is just some flapjack crap ripoff, And one day I got home from like school. No, it wasn't even school. I think I was like maybe in high school or college at the time. I was a grown man.
Yeah. Oh, I watched it as an adult also.
But I remember I got home. I was mad tired. My TV, like I got the remote, sat down on my TV, turned it on, and literally just like I'm so tired. I'm gonna slump in my chair, turning on the TV to Cartoon Network, and I literally threw the remote across the room onto my bed, and I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
Adventure Time. Come on, grab your friends. And I'm just like,
So good.
and I'm like, oh God. And then I do this thing where my eyes slowly roll over to where the TV remote is. I'm too tired to pick it up.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
It's a
all
sign.
right, I guess I'm just going to watch this. And it was like a marathon. It played 3 or 4 episodes, and I'm like, I think I like this show.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. I just can't get over the characters.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jake is so good. Finn's great. Hate Princess Bubblegum.
Oh,
Hate Princess
she's a
Bubblegum.
scum, man.
I hate her the whole show.
Yeah.
What's his name? Cinnamon Man? I can't remember his name now.
Cinnamon Man.
It's something like that.
Cinnamon Bun. It was.
I think it was
Cinnamon
Cinnamon Bun.
Yeah, it was Cinnamon Bun.
Great character. There's just so many. Peppermint Butler, such a good character too. So many good characters. And again, the story.
Like Ice King.
Oh my gosh,
King.
Ice King.
Ice King. Voiced
uh,
by the legendary freaking Tom
No,
Kenny.
it was, oh yes. But I'm talking about another good character of Ice King. What's his name?
Gunter.
You know what I'm talking about.
I already know. It's already in my head.
Okay, transition. Another great show. I think that I'm pretty sure you haven't watched all the way through. And if you haven't watched it and you think it's bad, you got to give it a chance. Because my
I know
wife.
It's coming. I know it's
Yeah,
coming.
I remember telling my wife, because I didn't grow up with cable. I only watched it like when I became an adult and the internet came out. KissCartoon.com. That's what I watched all my cartoons on. And regular show, I was like, oh, I've always.
Okay.
What do you think I was gonna talk about?
I heard talking about Frogtopia or something.
Oh, I'm gonna get that. I'm literally that's my third.
Yeah.
That's my third item. I'll get that in a second.
Yeah.
But regular show was another show where it's like first season. It's your basic cash grab cartoon where it's like let's throw some dumb little episodes.
Yeah.
No storytelling, and then we'll really draw them in season 2.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen regular show and you think it's a bad or dumb show, watch it. My wife, I remember, was like, "Ew, you want to watch this? This is so dumb." Fast forward 10 episodes and she's glued to the TV. I know it didn't happen, but I just imagine her like when Muscle Man takes her shirt off, my wife takes her. Like my wife would be like, Mom, every time. Like a Dora the Explorer thing. Like, who is it? Mom.
You know what? I'll say this. Like, even when I really didn't care, because here's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch regular show, but it's a good cartoon. Like when you and I have
So
sat down to watch it, I'm like,
good.
yeah, you know what? I like this.
Tearjerker ending too.
This is good. But I remember the episode when they first, I guess, introduce or they really get to know like Muscle Man. He does that whole prank with them, and then he's like, it's at the end, it's just all one big prank, and Mordecai's just like, I hate Muscle Man, and Rigby, after a moment of silence, you know who else hates Muscle Man? And I remember like even when I was like, I didn't care for regular show. I was like, this show is stupid. It sucks. I see that joke. I'm like, like I'm forcing myself. Like, don't
It's
laugh. You already
good.
don't like this show. Don't laugh. And it's like, years later, it's like, this show's actually pretty good.
It's good.
It's pretty funny.
My
mom.
My
thing.
favorite moment is still I don't remember the context leading up to it, but it's a good little like podcast showing because you can imagine your hands. And it's like Mordecai looking at Rigby, and Rigby like got a hold of like these dentures before Mordecai could. And Mordecai's doing the whole thing like reverse psychology, like, oh, it's not cool that you have that. And Rigby puts it on, and he has like his lips can't close. And have you ever like smiled so much with your teeth showing?
Yeah.
Saliva builds up, and you have
Yeah.
to like do. So it literally
Well,
is,
like those little plastic teeth.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, I remember that.
the little
Rigby be
Dracula
like,
teeth. I had one.
Are you jealous, Mordecai? And he's like, oh, that's disgusting. Is it? Like, just so there. That's just one of a million good things. Last thing, Amphibia. I know you hate it, but it falls. Okay, so first off, Adventure Time, 20 out of 10 show. Regular show, 18 out of 10 show. Not as good as Adventure Time, but it's still like better than the best. Amphibia, for me, is like a 12 out of 10. First season falls under every cartoon cash grab of like throw characters, add funny jokes, put no story, let them do whatever.
Yeah.
And like we're rewatching it literally like today before I came to our house. We're watching that show. We're rewatching it,
Nice.
and it got to like the end of season 1, beginning of season 2, when like every major cartoon goes through its like amazing transition. And rewatching it, dude, it's the closest to like an anime feeling of like I'm watching it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get pumped. I'm gonna get pumped. It's a great show. I think it's great. I know
How did
you
you
tried
discover
watching
it?
So how I got into it was my wife and I would watch anime every Saturday, like new anime, My Hero Academy, Haikyuu, Kuroko no Basket, anything we wanted to was like new episode came out Saturday, we watched it. And then there's a phase of anime life where it's like no good animes are out because all the good ones are like getting ready for the new season.
Right.
And that's when my wife and I watch new cartoons or new stuff. So then there was a while ago that my wife sent me a video of like a picture of a frog from Amphibia, and it had like its big eyes and did like a big jaw dropping moment.
Mhm.
And it's just really funny, the animation. And I remember laughing, like, that's hilarious. And we saw it on Disney Plus, and I was like, oh, let's check it out. And we got like to the first 5-6 episodes, and we're like, it's good. We got nothing else to watch. Might as well keep watching. And then that transition happens of like good to great, and we were hooked. Hooked.
Nice.
Yeah. If you, I recommend watching. That's all I'm gonna say. Recommend.
Yeah. I
Any
got
major
you.
shows you want to say before we sign off?
Major shows.
Like Ed and Eddie. That's your big show.
That's my favorite show. Yeah.
Your favorite cartoon of all time.
I think so. Like, here's the thing. I think so, because like I love SpongeBob, and SpongeBob is I can't even say a close second. It's like right there. Like take
It's better
two
than SpongeBob.
glasses. 2 glasses, fill them all the way with water, and literally an eye drop, one eye drop more of
getcha.
water. That's Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Wow.
Because it was just I don't know. I resounded with it a little bit more. Maybe for the fact that it was a show about like young boys my age,
Yeah.
like growing up and everything. So maybe there was just that extra, like, I never felt connected to SpongeBob, just an absolute
did
fan.
anyone?
Like, did anyone, like, but like, both are fantastic cartoons. And you know that show ended with a movie, with a I think a direct-to-TV movie, but it was like a TV special actually,
I've never seen
where they kind of tied some things and like I was actually just watching a little bit of a video about it today, and it was actually, when I think about it, it's a very nice way to end that show.
Okay.
You know, like you would think it's just a comedy. It's just a comedy. And like Ed and Eddie season 5, like that, I didn't care for that, just because it was like, oh, the animation now looks more slick. It's less rough, and it's like them going to school and everything. And I think the shtick kind of wore off a little bit because it's like it's not what it used to be.
Right.
So I didn't have high hopes for the movie, but going back and rewatching it, it's like, okay, this was actually a lot deeper than they intended it to be for a comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was the cartoon growing up. And again, that's all I do is I go back and rewatch old cartoons. I'm
wrong with
not
that.
exploratory. Yeah, not into that.
Yeah. Another great show, The Office,
Oh, yeah.
Parks and Rec. Those are like later shows in her life, but those were really good too.
Yeah.
How I Met Your Mother, I remember enjoying, and then it died off for me really quick.
Yeah, I just remember it being popular.
Yeah. What was the show you and I hated?
Big Bang Theory.
I hated that show.
Bazinga.
Oh my gosh, I hated that
Taking
show.
that out in post.
Wait, why?
Just kidding.
I was like, wait a second.
No.
It's like, Bazinga's not your wife's name. Nobody's gonna get that joke. But I've been saying my wife's name like 1,000 times, and you got to cut all this out.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Nobody can know who my wife is. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
a lot of good shows growing up, and a lot of great shows still today, but not as good.
No, it's simply just not the same. I think it goes in cycles because like 2004 to 2010 saw some awful shows. You had some nice ones that came out, like Chowder had like just this kind of like a little appeal to it.
Rada rada. Love that show.
And then there was the Misadventures of Flapjack, which was the weirdest. Captain Knuckles. Nah! He had like a very SpongeBob-esque laugh. But like the art style was so grim and gritty, but it was just like, and there was some weird crap that happened all the time. Like, yeah. Great. Yeah, and I think that came out in like 08 or so, like that.
I will say though, as my alarm's going off for the trash,
Time
be
to take
taken
out the trash. It's gonna be a weekly thing. About it.
The what is a banger in this era is anime. There's some amazing animes that are out right now that like everyone should be watching. They're so good. New season's still coming out for it. We're in a good season of anime.
Give us a couple. I don't
My
watch
Hero
anime,
Academia. If you're watching it, season 4 sucks. Last season, I think it was last season, season 6. Oh, so good, so good. I'm pretty sure Haikyuu's gonna get an ending soon if it's following the manga. Another great anime. Which one was I just watching? New Trigun, I think is actually really good. I know you didn't care for it.
Yeah.
I love old Trigun. I
You
think
know
New
how I am
Trigun is
with
still
remakes,
good.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like so annoyed. I can't remember the animes I've been watching lately. But they're all in hiatus right now because all the seasons are over.
Oh, okay.
Next episode, I'm just gonna randomly say the name of an anime and everyone's gonna know what I'm talking about.
3 episodes from now. It was this one.
Yeah.
It was this one. Go back and listen to that.
I don't know why I can't remember it right now, but no, we were watching some good animes. We're all in a hiatus right now, waiting for the animes to come back.
I gotcha.
Oh, Blue Lock. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
there you go. But wasn't that only 10 episodes?
No, it's like I want to say it's more. It's definitely more than 10. I don't remember
It's like
the
a
exact
one
number.
season thing, right?
Oh yeah, the season 2's coming out, and oh my
Oh,
goodness, it's the best sport anime to date. Like I thought Haikyuu was the best.
Shoot.
This is the best sport anime to date. It's so hype. And it vibes with impact, baby. The greatest card game of all time. The greatest movie. The greatest show. The greatest
And
everything.
that is the plug. Every week.
You want to plug anything?
I can't think of anything to plug. I'll plug. I was gonna say I'll plug you, but that probably sounds weird.
Wow.
And taking it out in post. Yeah, I'm gonna show you a piece of artwork.
Oh, please. Yo, this is the tracks. Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking that's probably gonna be the cover art for this
This
week's
needs
episode.
to be, dude. This needs to be a t-shirt.
Actually, yeah.
Oh my
like
goodness.
on a white t-shirt, dude.
Dude, this is like Mozart of art. Oh my gosh.
Dude, during work today, I just had that idea, and I'm just like, all right, I gotta sketch this out.
The more I stare at it, dude, there's just like more to take in, more emotions.
Bro, you're like you make me laugh so hard. Like
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Should I have it like pop up at the end of the episode just to force people to look back on YouTube when they're listening to this?
I
Okay.
would. And you know what you should you should do in post editing, you should just say like in the beginning before we say anything, like stay tuned at the end for a special treat or something like that. To really make
Gotcha.
people wait for it.
Gotcha.
But seeing this, seeing myself on the right here reminds me of this skit I wanted to do with Timmy. Because, you know,
Oh, tell
if
me.
I could go back in time, like back to my middle school days, back to my high school days, I don't care what my impression is on school. I would be a total weeb. I would have my fake samurai sword. I would dress in like any anime outfit I can find.
The
and-
Akatsuki cloak.
Yeah,
from
I mean, I'm
Naruto.
sorry. Anime makes you cool. I don't care what you say. Anime makes you cool. And it's like, can you imagine? Like, my life would change. So imagine I'm Timmy, okay? Timmy's in high school, going through the day, and he's like going up to a bully, and a bully comes up to him like, hey, get out of the way, loser. I can't believe you. Timmy's like, what are you talking about? And they're all talking about like Adult Swim. Like you said, MTV shows.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about. And Timmy's
Hit
like
my ride.
twirling his thumb. And then the next day, Kimmy comes in. Or not, sorry, next day, like Timmy goes home, and he turns on Dragon Ball Z. And then he turns on One Piece and he sees the power of anime. Okay, he sees the power that it bestows upon him. So when he goes back to school, the bully again bumps into him and he's like, "Hey Timmy, what are you?" And Timmy just turns back, super buff. Watashi wa Timmy-san. Wada mo na. And the guy's like, "Nani?" Dude, anime makes you cool. That is like the second title of the anime.
The subtitle when he's talking in Japanese is "Don't mess with me. I have the power of God and
anime on my side." You are already dead.
Omae wa mou shinderu.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's sick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just like, I don't know. There was, I don't know who you hung out with in high school, but like I was around the weird kids that liked anime, the
I can
emos,
see
the
it.
goths,
Yep,
and all
yep,
that.
yep, yep.
And they were like, "Yeah, these people like anime, so like they like One Piece, they like this kind of stuff." So it's like, yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, if you're gonna take anything back from this episode, anime makes you cool.
We should
Slap
two
it.
big dudes. watch
Hashtag anime makes you cool. Post on every podcast. Say two big dudes are better than them.
I don't have any plugs this week, man. Except for us. you know?
Yeah, dude. I heard about this show. This podcast, Two Big Dudes, probably the best podcast
Dude.
in the world.
Best.
You know what they always say?
podcast.
That they say anime makes you cool, and I agree with that.
I do too.
You know what else makes you cool? Impact, the greatest card game that's ever gonna come out, baby. Impact, baby. Impact. Impact.
In stores soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, dude.
All right, man. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in.
You just listened to Two Big Dudes.
Totally did not know how to end that.
Neither did I. That's what I'm always gonna be like, you've been listening to. Keep
I'm
that
a-
in. Keep that in. Keep that in.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think I am. Okay, let me.
I love this artwork.
Dude, it's my God. It's just.